Hi everyone, it's Meredith Griffin from Major Crush. Welcome to another Pairing with Mare. Today I'm in Sonoma and I'm actually in one of the oldest barns in Sonoma County and in Northern California wine country. This barn is from 1860s. It's rustic and old, but gosh, is it such a cool spot. So today, what we're doing is instead of an actual recipe pairing and a specific wine, I'm doing a very general, very classic pairing that can either go with a sparkling wine or one of our white wines from the Crush collection. So while a cheese plate might seem like kind of a boring pairing, it's really such a classic way and it's ideal for pairing with white wine and sparkling. And actually we did a podcast with John Ash in season 3, episode 6, and he talks about if you had to pick one wine to serve with cheese, white wine is the thing to serve with it. One of the other things about this pairing is our goal was to think about you and a couple other friends, $20 you have, $20 to spend to create this experience of the wine that you're serving it with and some nice fun foods where you get to kind of almost experiment and play with the food. So start with a few cheeses. I have 4 here. You don't need 4, 2 or 3 cheeses. With a white wine, you kind of want to have, well, with any wine, different textures. You know, maybe a brie cheese and goat cheese. They're both a softer cheese, but very different from one another. You can do a classic Swiss cheese, maybe some aged Parmesan. You play around, you pick what you want, but what will be fun is when you start this evening in this experience, first of all, you want to start by just sipping whichever wine it is that you're drinking for the night. So before you ever start experimenting with the flavors on your board here, you want to try the wine and decide what you think about the wine on its own. So you take a sip of your white wine. You notice you like it, it's got these nice fruit aromas that you're noticing. Now you know what the wine tastes like. Now you want to see how what you're going to eat might change what that wine tastes like. It's a great fun way for you and friends because I guarantee you're all going to have probably a little bit of a different opinion. So start with maybe having a bite of a cheese, then trying with the wine. But the goal is to start adding flavors to it. So that's why we have other things here. Cheese. You might do some jams, like this is a nice fig jam or a chutney. You could do anything. If you have strawberry jam in your refrigerator because you use that on your toast in the morning, pull that out. Whatever you might have in your cupboards, maybe some mustard. Mustard would be a fun thing to add here. You can get some fresh fruit. If fresh fruit's not in season or you didn't get to the store, do some dried fruit, dried figs, dried apricots. Whatever you like, have maybe a couple different options. Another fun thing are some nuts. I did some cashews and some toasted almonds. We have apples. You can play around, but the goal is to start building layers to see how it starts to interact with the wine. So of course, I'm all about sparkling wine. I think everybody seems to now know me as Miss Bubbles. So I'm doing our L'Oriella Prosecco here because it's just such a fantastic Prosecco and it goes with so many different things. So this was in our Crush collection, but it will go, Bubbles love salt. So a Parmesan cheese that has a little bit of that salty component to it. Olives that you could put here and have a salty component to it. And it even will go with a lot of different cheeses, but I'm telling you that salt will just really make it pop. There's strawberries on here, and what's funny is often, you know, you do strawberries and champagne or strawberries and bubbles, but often they aren't a great pairing. So it's, again, having some different fruits here, it will give you that. You're gonna maybe love the Prosecco, you have it by itself, but then you put a strawberry in your mouth and all of a sudden you might be like, oh, that made that Prosecco kind of bitter. But then you go back and you put in all of them in your mouth and the Prosecco's gonna pop. The whole point of this month's Pairing with Mare is just that wine connects people, and if you add an element of food to it, it takes it up to a whole nother level. The only thing missing with this pairing is my buddy to share it with sitting in that chair. This is a perfect pairing for any of our white wines or sparkling wines. A few cheeses, a few nuts, plain simple baguette, and some dried fruit, fresh fruit, a few chutneys. It makes it looks a beautiful presentation, but it will accompany any of the white wines really well.
And little bitty persimmons.
They're so cute.
I love it.